So
Damn.
she's making all the things.
As everything simultaneously reloads at the same time. On the screen.
I mean, everything is basically a browser source, it feels like. So
it
It is kind of, yeah.
sorry, there was a second where I was like, why only Suo and Vlad? But
because it's like suddenly opening Chrome and telling Chrome to open 12 tabs.
all right, well, welcome to Awooters Does D&D.
Welcome, welcome.
Another episode, another tech issue, as always.
But we're starting on time.
We are starting on time.
Mostly.
And let me just
Don't you
Wham!
mostly me. I'll beat you up.
That's right, Moobot. It's
Whoa.
working. I
Ah.
have it functioning. All right.
Yay.
So with that, let's just try not to break that. With that, let's get to the introductions, of course. So we'll start with Hamhawk. Hamhawk, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me at twitch.tv/little_foxy. I was actually live earlier playing some Faz and IDV, and I will probably be live later playing some Faz since the new weekly drops.
Perfect and amazing and wonderful.
Wunderbar.
Below them, we have a Buns. Buns, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me in the Awooters team Discord. I do occasionally post there and say hi. Usually I'm behind the scenes though, just beating these people with pool
Production
noodles.
manager stuff, you know.
Yeah, doing production manager stuff, or throwing things at Yogoki on his streams, or being M's Uber in Final Fantasy.
Perfect, amazing, wonderful. Next to Buns, we have the good old Vladinsky. Vladinsky, where can people find you on the interwebs? If you're talking, you're
Nowhere.
muted.
You're muted.
Hello, there we go.
There you go.
Professionals.
Yes, very much so. You can usually find me lurking in the Weirder Stream Team Discord. If I'm not there, I'm usually having technical issues while lurking in the Twitch chat in everyone's streams here.
Perfect, amazing, and wonderful. Next to him, we got a Suo. Suo, where can you be found on the internet?
You can find me at twitch.tv/mredfeather, playing some spooky games like, Phasmophobia, Lethal Company. I can't wait to try out Content Warning. That's spooky, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Weirdly
then
so, when you least expect it.
somehow I'm not surprised. Or I'll be playing things like RPGs like Baldur's Gate 3 or Final Fantasy. As well as doing the occasional art stream.
Perfect, fun, yay, art. And next to Suo, we got a Mace. Mace, where can you be found on the internet?
I can be found all over. I am Yoki Wolf on many of the social media and content platforms: TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, being the main four. I play a wide variety. Usually, if it's spooky, I'm playing it with someone because I am a scared little bitch.
Belt.
Very nice, very nice. And
I
then
always
last,
need more fodder.
and then last but certainly the loudest, Russell. Where can people find you on the internet?
Hi, you can find me at Russell. God damn it, no!
He got so loud he forgot how to do it.
You can find me at twitch.tv/Russell Hobbert, where you can also maybe get compensation for deceptively spicy food.
It is very spicy, actually.
It's actually quite spicy.
But it's
Is it good? Is it good?
It is
like-
good though.
It is good.
it's a satisfying spicy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you can find me, the Dungeon Master, at twitch.tv/AtlasRiven and on TikTok, where I also started streaming recently. Or you can find me in the Awooters Stream Team Discord, linked there. Whoa, see that? I'm a professional. And now I pull this up and we talk about what happened last time. So,
Should I scene switch?
I mean, we're not doing anything on the map currently. So.
Okay.
Last time we did our mandatory beach episode, which is vitally important if you ever wish to have an anime in the future. It's part of the anime getting licensed. We don't unfortunately have the money to make an anime, but we do qualify now because we had a beach episode.
Yeah.
But that all was a nice little side tangent in a dream. And now we're waking up on the ship after what was previously the day before of rather traumatic events involving, almost deaths, people coming back. Vlad has skin now. That's a fun thing that happened. And we also found a rather young Denier and a rather young Bahamut who have no idea what they're doing here or how they got here. And we'll pick up this episode as the boat that we've all been kind of sailing along in starts to approach the port of the nearby town. This one over here specifically, so it would be off to the side of Demore for those that can see the map. For those that are not seeing the map, just know we're getting to the port town. There's a little bit of hustle and bustle as they kind of start to set the ship up for docking in the port town. But what is the group doing?
Ham's probably trying to regain his land legs.
You haven't got to land yet.
Exactly, but it's this weird combination of like we were on land and then we were on a boat, but then we were in a dream on land. And does that count? And now we're back on a boat, but next to land. So Ham's thinking.
It's just a damn thing.
Ham's buffering. Got it.
Mace would be trying to shake the odd thoughts of skin from his mind and looking out over the approaching dock and seeing where they might need to go.
Looking out towards where you guys are heading to dock, it's another small port town, much like the one you left. It's almost identical in a way. It's just very much a small place. This is the go-between. This is kind of a town where, if they need to get stuff to the larger city of Drywood or a larger city on the other side, they kind of send boats here first, and then they get unloaded so that they can travel by land to get that last little leg of the distance to wherever they're going. So, sort of busy. There's like 2 or 3 large boats currently docked, and then there's the area where you guys will dock. But not like city busy.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna come to and look around, make sure everything is back to supposedly normal.
The first thing Buns does is reach for ears.
You have bunny ears.
Yeah, ears. Yay!
Okay, so Vlad is reskinned and Mace is deskinned, so I think we're in the correct reality.
Reskin and deskin. God damn it.
Gotta love that.
No.
No, you don't.
I hate it.
Take it back.
I shall do no such thing.
Also, Mace, while you're up there, you notice that they send ahead a small boat with just like 2 crew members ahead to kind of like, sign the paperwork, do the pre-stuff, just, hey, we're docking, this is where we'd like to dock, all that stuff. And that tiny ship will slowly start to make its way back after a little bit. What about Suo? What's Suo doing?
Suo. That's a good question. Suo's pretending she's still laying in the sun.
Is also buffering.
It's less like trying to comprehend everything and more just like maybe if I don't move, everything will not change. Like I'll be able
when you
to
have
relax
such a good
still.
when you have such a good dream that you're like, please, I want to go back.
Yeah, that exactly.
I mean, to be fair, you're the only one that I think stayed what they are, which is a kitsune. So you didn't have too much of an out-of-body experience.
Well, no, I went from a tiefling to not a tiefling, though.
That's
so,
true.
and also technically what I had was a, instead of being like an anthro kitsune, it was the like anime girl kitsune.
An upgrade.
So, like, while I could still turn into a feral kitsune, it still wasn't like, it still just like, she's just laying there like, do I have to move?
Cam was an eldritch horror, and everyone's benefit was that he had no idea.
Oh my god. Correct.
And then our good old Mace. Mace, what are you doing? Or not Mace, Vlad, sorry.
I was about to say, I'm looking over things.
Yeah, I'm just staring up at the sun there, wondering if I'll ever get to taste the delicious flavor of Sunny D ever again.
Gotcha.
That's fair.
Can't get those artificial flavors.
I'll never be able to taste the liquid stun ever again. And that brings a small tear to his eye.
So as you guys are kind of doing your respective morning, air quotes, I guess, routine this morning,
Routine reality check.
the small boat kind of comes back, gets reattached to the ship. The 2 members get off, and they you see as they're like holding a paper in their hand, and they kind of look over at Mace, who's on the deck, and Vlad, and they kind of just like, you see them whisper back and forth before going below deck.
Are they within? Would Mace happen to notice them as they come back, and are they facing him?
You notice them. You can tell that they're kind of pointing and that they're probably whispering about you, but they have their backs turned to you. It's that kind of like they turn every once in a while to look at you,
Over the
and
shoulder.
then like go, yeah, that over the shoulder look. Occasionally, a little like trying to be discreet, little point
Failing
in your
ethically.
guys' direction before going below deck.
Okay.
After some time, the captain will mosey on up to the deck with a piece of paper in hand and look around, and then spot you and Vlad, being the main two on the upper portion here, and she'll look at you and she'll just kind of wave you down.
Ham would probably move below deck during all this and just start cooking something.
After a moment, noticing the captain, Mace will walk over.
I need you and your party at your quickest convenience, and I sure hope it's quick, to meet me in my office down below in the captain's quarter. Thank you. And should just walk away without waiting for a response.
Insight check.
Go for it.
Vibe that check. I mean, check that vibe.
You aren't sure what that means. In terms of vibe.
Clearly a trap.
Hmm. Fucking Russell.
It's a joke. Don't take it as serious.
Mace will walk over to Vlad, relay. Hey, the captain would like to have a word before we depart ship. Gather the group.
All right, I will get right on it. I will gather up group and we'll meet Captain in.
And then Mace will go the other direction and trying to find everyone and continue relaying that message.
Assumedly between the two of you, you all can definitely kind of get everyone together and moving towards the captain's quarters. It's currently closed. Door is closed. You can see the flicker of light as it kind of like goes through one window and reaches the door itself.
Buns does the typical dun 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 on the door.
The door kind of creaks open, and the captain gestures for you to enter.
Ham and Megan will walk through.
Walk in. Yeah.
I would ask that you close the door behind you. Privacy is pretty keen.
Once everyone's in, Mace will close the door behind them.
Well, quite the group we have here. Let's see. There's 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15, 20, 21. There's about 25,000 gold worth in here, I'd say, judging by this. And she drops paper on the desk in front of her and slides it across to the group. And then
Buns
I should
goes
be
over
showing
to grab-
everyone the paper.
Buns runs over to grab the paper because paper.
So you all should be able to see this page if you go to the journal.
I love it.
Can I do a perception?
On
The room.
yes, you can do a perception on the room.
May I also do
I
a
would like
perception?
to vibe check the counting.
You want to vibe check the counting? Go for it.
15.
There's nothing in here aside from you and the captain and the party. With a vibe, you can't discern what any of that means.
As far as her counting and looking at us, even. Yeah.
I am going to do.
May I also do that perception check?
Yes.
Okay. Damn.
Pretty
okay,
much.
well,
Also for that perception check, I was looking for like in the room, and does it sound like the door locked behind us?
You're trying to see
Like-
if this is a trap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
are there thugs on
As-
the other side of the door waiting to bust in?
Like I said, the perception check you made, you can discern. I mean, and Russell can
That
both
the-
discern that the only people in this room are you guys, and the captain. There was no click of a lock behind the door, and when you guys walked in, there was nobody outside the door either.
Buns looks at the captain. So you think you get to turn this in and us and get this money, right?
A familiar voice kind of comes from a window as a window opens, and a familiar figure crawls in wearing some black poofy pants, and he goes, I think you're misjudging quite the situation and jumping straight to a pirate turning you in for being wanted.
Who is the figure?
Side eyes.
It's the I can't find his
Sybil?
artwork. It is Sybil, but I can't find his artwork, so
I can scroll for it if you want to continue. Ham is just listening in on all this. He's not jumping to any conclusions right now. He is simply existing.
You are not going to find it because I also scrolled for it, and I got all the way back to when Russell was added, and it's not in there. I don't know where it went. But
Did
yes,
you DM it to anyone?
I don't know. So,
Alright.
but yes, it's Sybil.
So it has started.
The captain kind of looks at Buns and goes, if that was an attempted threat, not very good. I've threatened better, and you could use some work. I'm not intimidated in the slightest, and I feel as though if I wanted to turn you in, I could. So that might have done the opposite of what you were attempting, to be clear.
If she wanted to, she wouldn't be showing us the page.
I mean, she could try, but I'm assuming she likes her ship.
So then you're
The,
not gonna turn them in.
No, the pirate stands up. The captain stands up and walks over to the Buns and goes, you're a very feisty one, but I am
Yep.
going to remind you right now that you are in fact barking up the wrong tree, and you're barking poorly.
Look, you counted us up, gave a number, then you handed us this.
It just means she can do math.
I'm going to pick Buns up and put her on my shoulder.
Before you do that, I need Buns to make a dexterity saving throw.
Pull.
Or
Luckily, one you're probably good at.
roll poorly.
Buns, before you could even realize it, you are on the ground with your arms pinned behind your back. And the captain is holding you by both ears, and she leans down and she goes, I want you to know that as a friendly favor, I'm not going to turn you in. But also, as a not friendly favor, if you ever threaten my ship again, I'll cut you from top to bottom. And she lets you go.
At that point, Mace will pick her up and put her on the opposite shoulder. Like, making sure his head is between her and the captain.
All right, well, I haven't thought about it.
And he ran.
Regardless of your intention, this makes
and
one
Mace
thing
will-
clear.
Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
This makes one thing clear, which is that these papers are already circulating around. It's not going to be us. We're going to have a problem in most civilizations. We're going to have to stick to the backwoods. The cultists seem to have rallied some sort of force against us, so...
I don't remember burning down a village.
Yeah, what is
Their
this
problem-
about burning the village down?
I mean, we didn't. They did. And they're framing us, if you recall that.
There were several villages that they have burned down.
Gotcha.
There's one
That
in
is-
particular.
I bet it's the one where they had Athena and Dee died.
More than likely.
Artemis.
Either way, if that village burnt down and they're going to pin it on our heads, there's really nothing we can do about it. It's our word against theirs.
The ship's captain kind of sits on the edge of her desk and brushes off a little of the dust on from the bottom of her pants, and she crosses her legs and she looks. She goes, "All right. Well, as much as I'd love to pay a fine for smuggling criminals into a city, I wouldn't. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do a quick little training session on how to not get caught by the police. Okay."
Uh-huh.
So, I'm gonna get you all an entire new outfit. And you all are gonna learn how to blend in, at least until you get out of this port town. Because I, once again, will not be paying fees for smuggling you in. And if you get caught and I have to pay fees for smuggling you in, and I have to go on the run for a while until everything burns down, I might collect some of that gold.
I'll be surprised if you've got something that can fit me.
You'd be, well, prepared to be surprised, I guess.
You are by far the easiest here to fit, I would think.
You ever tried to dress a watermelon?
She kind of
How
looks
long
down
do you
at
think it would take us to get through the city?
If you're being stealthy and wary about it, no more than a couple hours. It's not
So
a big
between
city.
2 and 3 hours?
Yeah, maybe 4 at the most. It's not a big city. It's just crowded.
Buns will change her hair color to black, boring, bleh,
With?
and use prestidigitation to change her fur color to white.
Mm,
And it'll last for an hour, and I can just re-up it.
I'm double checking this. I don't know that you can do your entire coat.
What are you using? Just
The vis-
prestidigitation?
The visible parts,
Prestidigitation, yeah.
maybe. Then
I would
Thought
say do your eye colors.
prestidigitation only
so
lasted
they-
a minute. I didn't know it lasted an hour.
So it does say, it says you make a color, a small mark, or a symbol appear on an object or any surface for 1 hour.
Then I would make it so that way your eyes are the same color.
Yeah, I think that's the most damning evidence there.
Yeah.
okay.
Because a brown rabbit is fairly common.
Alright, Bundle
I have to-
make her eyes green. The teal. She'll match the teal. Is that better?
Yeah, but the hair color thing is you have a ring or something for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a ring for the hair color. Doesn't apply to your entire coat. You do have that.
Right. Yeah.
Suo's like, okay, well, when we get closer to port, I'll just turn into a cat or something.
I think you have it easier.
I'll also cast Pass Without a Trace before we leave. So that way, if we want to be sneaky, we have a little bit of an extra advantage.
And Mace would look at Russell. Well, you have that same ability, don't you?
Yeah, but they're not after me.
I mean, fair.
Also, he'll be once I'm in wild shape, I can't cast any other spells. So if I do that first, he'll be free to cast whatever he wants.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I just looked into this. The changing a color thing specifically specifies an object.
Can't do it to change a person.
An object or a surface for 1 hour. So you can't do it to a living thing.
Best you could do is like change your clothes or hat type of deal. Hood.
Yeah.
You could put a mark on them or something, but the captain is also offering you disguises and stuff too.
I want to see what
Okay.
disguise I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
And Mace having just his cloak to his name here, and his pants. What do you have to offer? What are
Well,
our options?
let's go down the row, shall we? Choose the more easy ones first. Your fire friend's not on the list, so as strange as he is, him not needing to be hidden kind of saves a little bit of effort.
Yep.
Oh, yup.
Our kobold friend here, I apologize if this sounds offensive, but the most striking feature about you is Nugget and the fact that you're wearing kitchenware. So step one would be remove it and put it in a pack, and then we'll just give you a simple cloak instead. That kind of helps with the walking around with armor fashioned out of utensils.
I can send Nugget away as well. At least for the time being.
Well, you could do that, or you could use this, and she passes you a bottle. That little bottle right there will make Nugget an animal of your choice. Has to be smaller than Nugget. For at least about 5 to 6 hours if using the whole bottle.
All right. Well, I'll use it at the last moment.
Our new friend who had quite the experience on our trip. I know that your comfort is your large amount of armor because you never take it off. But I believe you look pretty normal now underneath there, judging from some whispers and things. You might just be better off not wearing your armor while walking through the town. As she looks at Vlad.
Vlad looks over himself. Well, I mean, I guess I could get away with not wearing armor for one day. It's not like it's going to be end of everything.
I mean, it might, but I don't think that your armor is going to play a part in that.
We have to ease up the sun talking.
Well,
True.
that is going to be the most difficult thing. Somebody might have to actually help me avert my eyes from the glorious sun.
We just give Bladinsky a pair of Ray-Bans.
The next simplest would be our bunny friend here, and that's just we're gonna have to put you in a rather boring outfit, and I'd ask how you feel about wearing hats to cover your ears, but I figure it's gonna be uncomfortable. But I guess it's better than getting caught now, isn't it?
Suppose, yeah.
So we'll get you a cloak and something to, hide the ears under. To our tiefling friend over here with the bright hair, we're gonna have to cover that up. You might need to try and hide that mask. That'd probably be beneficial. And I guess I could give you some makeup maybe, and you could cover the parts that show so people couldn't see the direct tiefling tone.
Again, I can just wild shape into an animal.
That would also be beneficial.
How long can you maintain that?
3 hours. So I'd have to do it right before we walk out the ship.
And is that out of character? Is 3 hours for one charge for you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you could, if needed, maintain
Do
it
a
for
second one.
a second charge without wild shaping back out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which leaves me.
You are the fun one. You are quite the fun one. I had a good time though. I've never had to hide a man entirely made of metal with a lizard tail. That was new. And for that, there's only one solution. You're gonna have to put him in a wagon.
We're gonna need a wagon anyway if we're gonna carry all of our stuff without Nugget, and all of Vlodinsky's armor without Vlodinsky wearing it.
Oh, can you be like a horse?
Me?
Yeah, for the wagon.
That would be beneficial. We don't have a
We'll
horse.
find out.
Well, if you can't, I can always call up my stallion.
You have a stallion?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I can turn into a draft horse.
Perfect. That's like the horse we need and everything. We still need a wagon though.
So
We're supplying you with an old one.
We have Vlodinsky's armor and then me in the wagon.
Correct.
Specifically, I think the armor should go over top of you.
Correct. What to blend in better with Metal Man than a bunch of metal?
That's fair.
I don't have any money, or I'd ask somebody to go try to find a scroll of major image, and then I could learn it.
Or just,
And-
disguise. There's a AoE, like, party disguise spell. I can't remember its name.
Yeah.
Seeming is too high level.
If you're worried about it, we're also going to discuss payment. Because this is a lot of resources for me to just be handing away, and at the end of the day, I too am a businesswoman. So, on top of all of this, in that wagon is going to be a large sum of metals and scraps of different weaponry and stuff that I would like for you to take with you to Drywood. There you'll find somebody who works in the local market. Their name is Cliff.
Write that down.
Deliver these to Cliff, and then he will send me a payment, and I'll call us even, because this will be a lot cheaper for me than hiring somebody to deliver it and hoping for the best, and I won't have to give up any of my men to make sure it gets there.
Okay.
Sounds like a fair trade to me. Mace looks to the rest of the group.
So
Sounds
Cliff
good to
and
me.
Drywood in the markets?
Yes.
Um. Okay.
I would give you more information, but I promise you'll know Cliff when you see him. He's hard to miss. Is there anything else that you need or questions you have?
This wanted poster, I take it you got it from town?
Yes.
All
They're
right.
kind of
Here?
everywhere.
Or when we left?
Here.
Can you tell from where it was printed how long it might have been there? I'm trying to see how long we've been wanted. We've only been on the waters for, I think, a few days, and we weren't wanted in the previous town, so I'm trying to see how quickly they're working.
I can tell you that it's probably pretty fast. It's a small town, which means that they must have been given this from a larger town that actually has the ability to print this in larger quantity. So
If
either
my-
Damore, Drywood, somewhere like that, and then it was shipped to that town, probably through Express. It's hard to tell based on the damage of this page how long or how old it might be because it's in a port town. And ocean and paper don't, or lake and paper don't mix very nicely, so the aging is probably a bit faster than normal.
And based on this here bounty, you guys know money better than I do. Is this a large quantity for someone that's wanted? Like,
5,000
is
gold per person
sizable.
is
I'm trying to
very,
see if this
very-
is unheard of.
not unheard of. If you run an entire criminal organization,
So the person's paying it out, probably the cultists being backed by their patrons, or
well,
they might have someone working with them from Damore itself.
I will give you this information. Nobody has ever personally paid a bounty this high. A bounty set at this. That's set by a government.
And that's what I mean. I suspect that the people we've been pursuing are the ones, they've got a lot of hands in a lot of high places. They had completely replaced the mayorship at a previous town that we visited, so it would make sense that this is going to be a government-wide problem. But it's one thing to be a small mayor at Tree, it's another to be of the level of government of a larger settlement like Damore.
Correct.
Alright, so we should just assume that no matter where we're going, we'll be recognized. So after we get to Drywood, we'll need to consider a long-term survival plan. I can help us survive in the woods, but we also have work to do.
Yeah, we've got to get into Drywood. We've got to find people there.
I
I'm
can
gonna do
get
it
you past the port town. And the only information I can give you about Drywood is that they do have an entry process. I've never done it personally, but I know that it exists based on the paperwork that has to be filled out in order to ship things there.
Have you already done that paperwork for this shipment?
Yes,
Okay.
but that just covers the shipment. It doesn't cover the people delivering it. There's a separate paperwork done for that.
Okay. Do we need those papers?
Well, yes, you're gonna have to certainly figure out how to get them. Because unfortunately, I can't supply those.
You said you had already done them.
I have done the paperwork for the shipment, not for the people shipping.
Yes, that's what I was talking about us needing, the paperwork for the shipment.
Yes, But she's also letting you know that you need paperwork as the people shipping to
Right.
enter the city.
I think she's going
Right.
to supply us the paperwork for the shipment.
Yeah, just not for you.
I need to get a spoon. I'll be right back.
Okay.
We'll have the paperwork that we need to show to then process it forward.
For the goods and items, yes. You just won't have anything for you to get into the city. This paperwork covers the items you're shipping, not the people shipping the items. The reason for that is it's supposed to encourage more work and more business. So those that ship the goods cannot also be the people in charge of the people that ship the goods. We are supposed to be legally two separate companies.
Well, I mean, we could be a separate company. You're hiring
Yes.
us.
I'm back.
Yes, but I can't supply the paperwork for you
Right,
to be
we'll
a
figure it out.
company. All right.
We'll figure it out.
Hey, I did what I did, and you guys are gonna make it, and my stuff will make it there legally, and if you get caught, you get caught. That's not on me. Just try not to get caught, though. I want that stuff to get there. Anything else I can do for you?
Look, I'm sorry I threatened your ship, but you were coming off very threatening to us.
She gives you a little wink. I'm a businesswoman. It's in the trade.
And I figured threatening the ship would be the best way to get you to stop threatening us.
Yeah,
I
no,
will,
I don't think that was.
I'll give you some advice for the future. In business talks and pirate talks, this is a very similar trade of advice. If you want somebody to stop threatening you, you don't threaten their goods and services.
Usually best to just threaten them. Their goods and services mean nothing if it's their own life at stake.
But anyway, I believe you all have a tire ticket, which has been delivered to your small little sleeping quarters. Get dressed. We'll be at the dock in roughly an hour. The carriage will be at on the top, with the stuff in it, ready for you to crawl underneath. And that should be sufficient. The paperwork will be attached to the side of the wagon. That should be enough for them to just see it. It's already been processed. So the rest is just a matter of don't make a scene.
All right, well, if that's it. Can I take that with me? And I point to the
Mace
wanted
looks at
poster.
Buns. That's what I'm worried about.
You certainly can.
Thanks, and I'll stuff it in my bag.
Have fun getting changed.
Buns leaves.
I take
and
off
heads
my
toward
armor.
towards their room to change.
Oh, were we supposed to do that in our room?
I don't care where you do it as long as you don't do it in here.
Fair.
Ham's already naked.
Well, then, with that
We
being
had a
said,
long
I'm going
rest,
to go
right?
back to the top.
You did in fact have a long rest.
Okay.
And I'm going to cook breakfast.
Then I'm also going to just keep my spells while we're doing this.
Yeah. I need to. But I need to maybe change out.
as you all do that, I will go ahead and swap us to swap the music over. Ba-ba-doo-doo. Ba-doo. Ah. Meow. Meow.
Mace, are you gonna be okay hiding underneath with the armor and stuff?
I have no nose. I'll be fine.
Okay. Just making sure.
Mace will ruffle her hair. I know.
This is gonna be so uncomfortable. Buns takes out some of the rope, cuts it, and binds her ears up and together for the hat. Because I'm assuming it's a pointy hat.
It's kind of it's more of like a sea hat, like a not a great well made, just kind of rough hat that you would see a lot of like dock workers and stuff kind of throw on to
Mostly for
cover
the
their
shade.
head. Yeah. So it's not super pointy. It's more just rounded and has a decent bill on it, just to like assumedly prevent,
But she's gotta
rain when you're working in the rain and stuff.
bend like the tip of one ear, bind the tip of one ear to the base of the other to get them to fit.
Yeah. They'll fit in the hat. The hat's just not pointy, it's more rounded.
Oh, that's gonna be painful. It's like, ow. Oh, this is. I can't wait. I already can't wait till we get out of town.
You can.
Take this stupid hat off.
Can't you just make your ears go the other direction? What? You can make your ears like.
Flop
Because
down.
they're just. Yeah.
No, she's not a flop eared.
That you
No,
don't
she's
have to be
pointed.
a flop eared.
Yeah.
You
Her ears
still
are-
have ears. The way ears work, the way bunny ears works is similar to like how
Cat ears.
yeah, cat or
They
dog ears
rotate.
work. You have them perked up most of the time, but you can lay them back.
So, yes, but it still is going to be uncomfortable because
Right,
gonna
but
be
it's
under a
probably a
hat.
different kind of uncomfortable if you're using because it's basically like actively. They'll be tired probably.
Because there's a heavier cartilage around the edge of the ear, probably about up halfway. So yes, she can scrunch down the top of the ears.
No, I mean like you know how like when dogs like.
We're hitting
So-
Googles.
I understand what M is saying, but I also understand what Zana is saying because she's also gonna, even if she flattens them, right, lays them flat, she's still gonna have to fold them to tuck them in the hat, or you're gonna have two ears sticking out the back of the hat also.
I thought she was gonna have her hood up. So using the hat to keep the ears down and then have the hood up to hide the back of the ears.
It's
No, when she has her hood up, she's got holes for her ears to stick out of.
Well, they gave you a cloak, but the
Right.
problem is that even with that, if your ears are poking out the back, then there's gonna be two kind of like odd shapes on the back of the cloak where the ears are still kind of
Pointed
pushing on the
backwards.
back. So in order to completely hide the ears, the ear bumps and stuff under the coat, it's a put your ears flat and then fold them so that they're tucked into the hat. It also prevents them from. It also helps prevent the ears from naturally perking or moving in certain directions because they're being held by something.
Right. But for the record, this is a rabbit
Let
folding
the
ears
records-
back versus Lop. So this was the difference that I was thinking about. Is like Lop is when they're coming down just relaxed like that, whereas like having them go back, which if you're standing, if you're anthro, is like that actually is like slicking them back, kind of like ponytail or whatever.
I've actually
Right,
seen
right.
bunny characters essentially have their ears in a ponytail behind their head. Very
Yeah,
interesting. eventually.
Lola
I've-
Bunny.
Oh, case in
I-
point.
Yeah, I've
Right,
always
yeah.
seen that as owl for them, though.
Yeah, I don't
Realistic-
know.
Yeah, realistically, if that was like a realistic form, even if it wasn't like aggressively tied back, just having them in that one position is gonna make those ear muscles so tired
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
sore. Because
It's no different than
it's,
like
it's not
Yeah,
a
it's not
supernatural position for them to just sit in.
Yeah. So she's.
I mean, it's the
she's-
same as like having somebody's arms tied behind their back for a long period of time.
Right.
Ham's wearing a t-shirt and nothing else.
And a cloak. They gave you a cloak.
He hasn't put the cloak on yet.
The cloak is more scared of you than you are of it. Put it on.
I'll put it on when we get closer to our destination.
Well, you only have, if you made breakfast, you are probably roughly 30 to 20 minutes away because you only had an hour to get ready in the first place.
Uh-huh.
But you also have to keep in mind that within like 20 minutes of getting to the port, you are close enough for people to see you if you go above deck.
Oh yeah, I'd definitely be waiting.
And then as we get closer, Mace will snuggle in essentially to the cart and go into sentry mode, honestly.
They'll have, so it'll be you, and then Vlad's armor will be piled on top. And then on
my
top of
armor.
that, yeah, all of your supplies that you're trying to hide will be hidden essentially on top of Maze. Another layer, like a tarp layer, will be put on that, and then on top of that will be probably an uncomfortably heavy amount of metal scrap and things from different sources. And then they'll
Right.
put a tarp over that and tie everything down.
Okay.
Once we get closer and I don this robe, I will turn, in light of all the animals that I could choose, I will simply turn Ham into the cat that he was in the dream and just carry around Krona.
Joe? You, around that point is when you kind of hear as some yelling and stuff, and then the ship kind of slowly comes to a stop in its port, and they start rolling out the walkway for the
Cart and stuff.
carts and stuff, and the captain will stand there and be like, "All right, you were hired for a job. Get it done."
All right, Captain.
You also see a Sybil is over there, and he goes, "Be safe."
You could come with us.
I have a job.
To help us, right?
No.
Oh my gosh, let them do their job. I'm gonna start gesturing for the cart to get off this dock.
And
Buttons.
I'm at this point I have cast Pass Without a Trace and turned into a draft horse.
Okay.
All right.
Buns will hook up Suo to the wagon.
Yeah.
Janier will kind of also be he'll be
I don't know.
in a cloak himself and sitting at the front of the wagon, just kind of reading. nonchalantly, not really aware of the danger or anything, just kind of like, I guess this is what we're doing. And Child Bahamut is kind of just sitting on top of the cart and pointing at different things. What's that? What's over there? What
Oh,
are
no, never
what are
been
they
here.
doing?
Working.
This seems awful. Why would anybody want to live in a concrete place?
They don't have a choice. They're not the fittest, so to survive they have to stick together.
Gross.
Yeah, you're right.
Really is.
So our names were not on the
Just descriptions.
Yeah.
Just
descriptions.
descriptions.
Okay, so Buns is going to, I guess, climb up and take the reins of Duo.
Next to you.
I guess you guys. What? Russell, I guess you guys have to walk. Okay,
We'll
go,
be
Sue.
fine.
I'm just gonna like turn and do the like horse head bob thing and flick my tail at you and start going.
All right.
It didn't come through, but she totally did the.
Shut up, baby.
This is what Suo looks like, by the way.
Hey.
I love draft horses.
It's a pretty horsey.
Gonna go like.
For those of you who can't see this, I am a like smoky gray horse with black feathering on all four legs, like very thick feathering. The tail is like white and kind of ombres into a dark gray. The face is like the face heads ombres into a dark gray mask, and then the mane is a light gray and ombres into a dark gray. So
They're light gray at the center and just ombre to dark gray or black along every extremity.
pretty much,
Yes.
yeah.
Anyway,
The way that like Siamese points are.
All right. So you
But yeah,
guys-
I pull the
onward.
cart.
All right. So you start making your way through.
Buns looks like she's guiding Suo, but she's really not. She's just letting Suo go.
Here's a
Alright.
question:
Up the
does Sua
pretense.
know where to
He's
get
like,
out
she
of
got
town?
this.
Like, she
Uh,
might give a gentle tug in a direction. Like, we should probably go that way.
You should also do that so that it looks believably like you're controlling this horse
Right.
from a passerby.
But she's being gentle about it. She's not trying to hurt
Yeah.
Suo. Or
So you
annoy her
guys-
too much.
You can. It's not too hard to find your way in the direction of the exit of the town. You're in a carriage, so you kind of have to follow the road, and the road assumedly will take you out of the village. You kind of
course.
hit that. Yeah.
I'm just sitting here going nom 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 nom.
Because of the bit in your
You got
mouth.
a bit.
Uh-huh.
Good old
It's
sympathy
not
bit.
uncomfortable. It's not uncomfortable, but it is like the
You
taste
sound
of
like
metal.
you're talking with a bit.
That's because I put a Reese's cup in my mouth.
That's a tasty bit.
Mm-hmm. But it's just like nom nom metal nom.
Something, put a muzzle on that horse.
Mm.
You kind of hit that 2 to 3 hour mark, and you start to come up on. You can see kind of the road that leads out into a big field, way ahead of you, and then standing at the exit are posted some local guards, and they're kind of stopping every wagon as it comes through. And you can see that they're asking questions as one of the guards kind of walks around and double checks what's in the wagon and everything.
How many guards are there?
There's about 4 of them stationed at this exit.
Okay.
You kind of get stuck, having to wait your turn as you you're about 2 wagons behind. At about, let's see, takes about 10 minutes per wagon. So you are now up. It's been about 20 minutes. And Suo, I need you to roll just a Constitution saving throw to see if you can discern about how much time you can hold on before you have to reapply your wild shape and what that means.
So
I would also say this is probably something that we should establish. Normally, the DM and the druid will establish ahead of time if you have to leave wild shape and reapply it, or if you can just use a charge. I can't recall off the top of my head if it states it explicitly in the book. I don't have my books handy.
Hold on.
It's been a while since I played a druid. A long while.
technically it says you can stay in beast shape for 3 hours before reverting back to your normal form. Or as a bonus action earlier, or if you fall unconscious, drop to 0 hit points or die. It does not actually specify.
You then revert to your normal form unless you expend another use of this feature.
So yeah, you can expend another
Okay,
use
so
to
wolves
not
is what-
revert.
I will post it here.
No, you revert to your normal form earlier by using bonus action automatically. Okay.
Link it here for people to see. There you go.
Yep.
Just trying to help.
All right. So then you can essentially expend
If
another
it's one of
wild
those things that I
So-
feel like because we're going to be conscious about time and knowing this, I feel like somebody would be keeping track of time.
Right.
So at this point, I'm taking this role as: do you need to expend another one, or is it going to last long enough?
I'm gonna so just give me a flat d20 and we'll see if you need to expend another one.
Or if we can at least make it over the next few minutes, basically, to get through town and out.
With a 15, you're not gonna need to expend another one. You definitely have some time left before that happens. As the carriage kind of rolls up on the guards, one guard stands on either side of the front of the carriage, and he looks up at you and he goes, "Nice day we're having. What you doing? What you got here?"
We've got a delivery for drywood.
A delivery for drywood.
Yes.
All right.
Yep, just
And
some
what-
scraps of metal and such.
Scrap metal and stuff. All right. We're gonna have 2 of the boys just kind of give it a once over, make sure that there's nothing else in there. And then my friend on the other side is gonna check the paperwork on the side. The other one on the side is wearing a helmet and is kind of just nods. Anybody outside the carriage, so essentially anyone but Mace who is paying attention, can just give me a quick perception roll.
Would this be auditory?
No, this is not auditory.
Okay.
So
Who
23.
can make it roll?
Anybody who is paying attention outside of the carriage, so
This is for
not
the
Mace.
other guard, right?
Yes.
Perception check. Hold on.
I already have a thought.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Forgot.
I have
have
actually
bad
2 thoughts.
I have bad thoughts.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Oh,
I rolled a 23, so I'm noticing.
right, yeah.
I'm still trying to open my character sheet.
Gotcha.
I never use this site for anything.
To be fair, a little on you. You knew
My
we were
characters.
playing.
Yeah.
I took for
Oh.
granted that my character wasn't loaded into Roll20. In my other Roll20 game, it's already in there.
Oh.
Gotcha.
And perception check.
Yes. All right. So So we'll start with Russell. Russell, this guy looks really nice. He looks like a really kind guy, almost like the type of guy that you're not sure why he would be a guard in the first place. He just looks like a genuinely nice guy.
Hold on, with the 23, I just see that he's just really, really ridiculously good looking.
No, I didn't say he was ridiculously good looking. I said
he
he
looks
is
very
he looks like
nice.
a nice
He
guy.
looks kind.
Like-
He has a kind
Yes,
face.
kind, yes.
Okay.
Sue and Ham, you'll notice the same thing, but you'll also notice something else. This guy looks really familiar.
Does he look like a really nice guy that
So
we made
wait.
cry?
If
You made him
Suo rolled the
cry?
same.
Does he
Give
look
me
like
Oh
a
my
second.
gosh!
Does he
Give
look like
me
the
a
guy that we
Oh,
made
no.
cry?
Oh no! It's a family man.
That's bad. That's bad.
It looks a lot like a guy who bawled his eyes out when you guys told him that you were a family.
This is not what I thought was gonna happen. Oh.
And he's reading over the paperwork on the side because as you remember, back in Demore,
Got transferred.
he got transferred, but he handled the paperwork for entering the city. And he is currently reading over the paperwork on the side of your carriage. Which is why
Hello?
Russell wouldn't notice this, because
Mhm.
Russell didn't run into this guy.
Yeah.
So
That's
I.
what I knew as soon as you said, Russell, you see a really nice guy. And I was like, oh no.
So what?
Oh no.
In an effort to just appear more legit, like we're not trying to hide anything, I'm gonna help with like untying the tarp
The
a
top
bit
tarp.
and help pull it back. Just making an effort to speed things along,
I'm
giving
gonna
that
get a little
amicable
antsy.
look.
Okay. I'm gonna need
Buns is gonna
Ham?
hop down.
Ham and Buns to roll with advantage a stealth check to see if they can avoid showing their face to the kind gentleman.
Ooh.
What's
Well, they
that?
also plus 10.
Oh,
So I
That's
can't
stealth.
make it automatically advantage. I just have to roll twice.
yeah. I can't either. That's why I rolled twice.
So
No, not plus 10. Because it
Question.
only lasts an hour. And I
Okay,
wouldn't
I
have
I was
been
gonna
able
say
to read.
the pass without trace would have been gone already.
Okay.
Yes. So, but you're getting advantage because you're disguised.
Suo is realizing in retrospect some certain things that should have been established ahead of time.
Hmm.
That she
Alright.
cannot communicate until after she's out of.
Buns is gonna hop down, knowing that, sensing that Zuo is being agitated and fidgety. Buns is gonna go down to the head and just keep her calm, pet her.
Can you reach her head?
If she puts her head down, yes.
This is
Yeah, she's gonna put her head down and like aggressively eyeball the other guy.
Okay, so that's just classic horse behavior.
Right, yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
as you are both doing that, and one of you is going to calm Sue, and the other one is helping to untie things, the young Denier looks off to his side, and he sees the very kind gentleman reading the paperwork.
He was there.
And he begins to strike up a conversation with this man. And he just says, "Oh, how long have you been?
Where
how long
is
have you
he?
been working
Where
in
is Denier?
paperwork?"
Where is Denier in relation to the cart?
Oh, he's sitting up front. He was sitting up front with
Fantastic!
everyone
I am
else.
100% farting in this man's face.
So,
Emergency horsepower
technically, one, the distance is pretty far. Two, he's not in the
No.
middle behind the horse. You would have to
No.
move.
Horse farts, they stink.
I mean,
Everyone's
that's
smelling it.
okay. That's
God damn it.
fine. But this also isn't his first rodeo riding in a carriage.
Yes.
He probably would be in the middle, by the way, because me, Buns, and D were all up front. So
Yeah.
D, being the tallest one, was probably in the middle.
Well, no, because D was sitting first, and he scooted over
Buns is
because
in the
Buns
middle.
took the reins.
Yeah, Buns is in the middle because of the reins.
And he starts having a conversation with this very kind guy about doing paperwork. I'm now going to roll for the really nice guy to see if he can discern a guy that looks similar but younger. The nice guy looks up and he's just oh, I've been doing paperwork for a while. And you see his face kind of like, he tilts his head a little bit and he squints his eyes. And he goes, "You look really familiar. Have we met before?" And D looks at him and
Duo's
goes,
gonna like
"I don't think so. I mean,
jerk
I've never
Buns's
met you."
jerk Buns's hands and like gesture with her head at the guy and like snort.
And other horse noises.
Right.
I mean, I've never met you personally, not that I remember. I think I would remember meeting somebody who does paperwork. I mean, I often try and conversate with people in the industry of working in knowledge and information gathering, so I can't remember. And the nice guy looks and he goes, you seem so familiar."
Buns will go over. Come on, we need to let these nice people do their job, so
Yeah,
that we can continue on.
I'm gonna turn to D and go, quit holding the man up. He has a job to do.
You said that to who, Buns?
D.
I need you to make another stealth check. This time you get a straight stealth check because you are both verbally talking and near the nice guy.
So I lost my advantage.
Yup.
Good luck.
Nope.
Oh no.
Maybe he's confused. Maybe.
Let's do a little roll.
Oh!
Damn.
For those playing the home game, Buns rolled a 6.
The
This
DM?
man rolled a nat 1.
This man looks at you and he just smiles and he goes, you remind me of somebody. I hope I see them again someday. The two gentlemen in the back who are looking through all the metal and stuff, Mace, give a stealth check with advantage.
Okay.
Because they're going through the stuff in the back of the carriage.
Right, I'm in sentry mode, if that makes a difference.
I mean, you're still Mace, and you still
Right, I
have a
know,
lizard
yeah.
tail. There's stuff to find, so
Okay.
you'll still get it with
Fair.
it. I can't give you extra advantage, but you get it.
Right,
you
yeah,
have
yeah.
it.
Moment of truth.
Okay. As long as they don't roll a nat 20, you're fine. All right. They
Nice.
see nothing, and they even help Ham tie back up the back of the cart. The nice
Thanks.
guy gives a little stamp to the paperwork on the side of your carriage, and the original man goes, "All right, keep it moving. We got more carriages to go through."
I grab the reins and give him a snap, like, yeah, come on, let's go.
As you kind of take off, Buns and Suo, and Ham make a perception check.
Oh no.
Perception.
That's
Disgrace.
Oh.
Ham, I
And
swear to
then Ham.
fucking God.
As the carriage lunges forward, you all kind of wave one side, wave to the other side, and as you wave to the other side, you make eye contact with Nice Guy, and he gives you a subtle wink as your carriage pulls out.
I love that.
Hell yeah.
When you made the comment of like, I would love to see them again, I was like, he wasn't gonna sell us out.
I was about
Wasn't
to
gonna
say.
sell out the family.
He wouldn't break up a family.
I was about to say that quote alone felt worse than failing a save.
Can I do like a friendly Winnie?
You absolutely can.
Because I don't even think he realizes that like I would be a
He doesn't-
druid.
He doesn't
But,
realize that
like-
you're a horse, but he does instinctively recognize Buns and Ham.
Right.
What? But we worked hard.
Uh,
Beautiful.
So you guys make it out of the town, and then about an hour or so, the town is in the distance, and you're covered by some of the forest and stuff on the trail.
At least he didn't, rat us out and start crying again.
Yeah, he seems to have come a long way. Literally, this is nowhere near Demore. I didn't know they'd transfer him this far.
Poor guy. He was nice.
Seems to be doing alright.
All right,
Okay.
well, we need to head to Drywood, right?
Yeah.
I hand the reins back to Buns.
Let's see.
I guess
This-
we'll know when.
So here's the wagon. You guys are roughly in this area. So you're about an hour outside of town, ish, in the tree lines. The trip to Demore, judging from the map, will take you about a day and a half to 2 days. Probably closer to that 2-day mark because you're pulling a wagon full of items and stuff now.
Yeah.
We're not going
Yep.
to Demore, we're going to Drywood.
Or sorry, to Drywood.
Can we possibly expand the map so we can also see that one?
Because I could have sworn Buns has a map.
Everyone has a map in their journal.
Right.
So you can see the map in your journal.
It's
You
just a
can't
matter of
see.
we've been here. This is where we are.
Yeah. So you are somewhere between the town you just left and Drywood. I can't unhide Drywood because you haven't actually been there yet, so you haven't physically seen Drywood.
We technically
Fair.
started in Iraq and then
Yeah.
traveled
We
east
did.
from
We
there.
did start in Rock.
Yeah, you went from here to Trey, to
Oh, we went
this
south.
village where the tree happened, and then to Demore.
Straight up to Demore, into the lake, out of the lake, into a dimension, multiple times through this process.
Somewhere not in this. Then you were here, and then across the lake.
We walked basically most of the way back down to Yeft.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So if we did So it would take us 2 days with one of us pulling it, right?
I assumed we were gonna have Vladinsky's horse pull it.
It would take 2 days with a horse pulling it.
What if we had 4 horses?
It would take slightly less time, but it would increase your because you'd have to feed 4 horses on this trip. So more resources, but faster travel.
Can we possibly add icons for young D and young
We can as soon as I make them.
I
forgot we had
keep
them.
track of how many people we actually have in our party. Because it controls how many people I can feed.
Give me a second and I will try and find.
So I think it's just those 2 extras. So it's
So yeah,
our
at
normal
the
party
moment,
of
at the moment we're at
6.
8 plus Nugget.
6 plus Nugget.
Plus those 2.
Plus those 2.
That's gonna be D for now, and then
The reason why I was asking is because I can summon 4 horses that are Fey spirits for an hour.
right. How?
Oh,
So for
I mean-
an hour.
And because they're spirits, they don't
Require any.
food.
Yeah,
or
but
anything.
it only speeds up 1 hour out of an 8-hour travel day. Because we're not traveling 100% of the time. Our per day travel is usually an 8-hour travel with the rest of the time spent essentially in encampments. Like that's the base understanding of traveling distances in D&D, is that you're only technically traveling for 8 hours.
Right, but that's why I'm saying, like, how much faster in that 1 hour period? Because if we get 4 times as much length, and I do that 2 or 3 times, that could cut a whole day off our travel.
So that would boil down to fast travel, essentially. There's 3 speeds of travel long distance in the book. Because you can move at normal speed. You can essentially sprint. I think there's a rule for that. And then you can move at half speed, which is your stealth moves in long distance travel.
Yeah, because there's different speeds. So you could hypothetically, but so how long exactly could you
I could cast. It's a 3rd level spell, so I would have to cast it 3 times.
So you would have 3 hours.
Almost half the day moving at whatever max speed is for.
3 hours would get you, because I have a travel.
Because it's one of those things too, where I was like, does 4 horses even do? Because how? Because then you get into the logistics of how much do the 4 horses actually
Also,
impede on themselves.
Also, to be clear, I think only a maximum of 2 horses can pull this wagon. It's not a
We don't
super
have
big wagon.
enough for 4 spaces.
But then, so the difference between having 2 horses pull a wagon and having 1 horse pull a wagon is 1 mile an hour. So you can
It doesn't matter.
essentially, because even if fast travel with 3 hours, you would get 12 miles out of it. And
Yeah.
you're traveling 1, 2, 3. You're traveling
that was
about
all I
100
needed to
miles.
know.
Yeah. Sorry, I was actually doing the math on this because I have the table in front of me. So miles wise, you're about 100 miles.
Now my follow-up question is, where is the horse coming from that when I am no longer a horse?
Vlad has a steed.
The Phantom Steed, I believe,
Oh.
or Spectral Steed. It's one of the 2.
Yeah, Paladin Spectral Steed.
And it
You
actually
can
moves
get that, I
faster
think, as
than
a
the
wizard
standard.
too.
The wizard uses Phantom Steed, so there's a Divine Horse and a Arcane Horse. I just can't remember which one is which.
Gotcha.
Because there's Find Steed, I think, is the.
I believe Fine
Paladin
Steed
one.
is Paladins. Yes,
And
find
then
steed.
Spectral or Phantom Steed is the wizard version.
Right. I just because I was like, I know because that's actually what I was looking for earlier, as it was.
Yeah, Phantom Steed is wizard.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Vlad, if you're talking, you're muted.
Hello?
Husky? Oh, there you are. Okay. So according to Find Steed, you can choose a warhorse, a pony, a camel, an elk, or a mastiff.
Or a mastiff.
It's the traditional mount of gnomes and halflings.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna go with a warhorse.
Okay. Let me pull up those. If your steed doesn't.
And then is it Celestial, Fey, or Fiend?
Yeah, you'll have to pick one of those.
Oh. Please, Celestial. He do like.
Yeah, I was thinking the Celestial would be the best bet for it.
Gotcha. Let's see. It has a 6 intelligence. Unless it has greater than 6. Fine. Ability to understand what language. I'm trying to see the part where it was faster.
No, that's the Phantom Steed. Is the faster
I was
one.
about to say I didn't think it did. So then
Find
let me
Steed is a
pull up-
normal horse. Phantom Steed from the wizard line is a faster
Yeah,
than average horse.
wizard spell, and it only lasts for an hour.
Yes. So the warhorse can pull the wagon easily, and then yeah. So it'll still take about 2 days. Yeah, it'll take about 2 days to get there. So you'll probably have to make camp at least once, but you will be traveling through majority forest.
And we have the perfect combination of I am a ranger and we have a tiny hut. If
Yep.
I remember correctly.
Yes, I do cast Tiny Hut that night.
I remember
It's-
because you opened it in a hotel room.
It felt like it because it's a different quote setting. I had to remember that happened in this story. Because I'm like, no, that was a modern day setting game. Clearly.
We can look up the stats. Can I? Just
You need the stats for what?
I have the stats for a warhorse in the game. I'm just wondering if I can turn it into a token.
So we've got 9 creatures.
9, but like one of them is just a magical horse, basically, that we resummon each day, if I remember correctly.
There's-
No, that would be 10, because the
that
ninth
would
is
make
Nugget.
Yeah.
The 9th is Nugget. So it's snug.
Nugget can sleep outside. Can watch over the area. And then I also have the alarm spell, which we can also use. So we are covered.
As long as it's not more than 9 creatures, we're good.
What happens at 9 creatures? Ooh.
But I find
if-
out.
Fails. The spell fails.
Oh, for a tiny hut, yeah.
Yeah,
We are at maximum capacity.
we are
Yeah.
at maximum capacity.
At
Luckily,
max
most of
capacity.
us are pretty small, so
Yeah.
You
9
do
creatures.
not. You do not have to recast Find Steed unless your steed perishes.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't have to cast that every day. It's just until you dismiss them yourself or it perishes.
Okay, I wasn't too sure how that worked.
Yeah.
okay. So then we'll
Yeah,
just
you
have to
Also-
make sure.
you just hoop it to something on the outside of the hut, and it'll stay there.
Also, the most important question of all: What's your horse's name?
Susan.
And
he
Oh my
asks that you respect his life choices.
What's your horse named?
I'm gonna have to go with Susan.
Beautiful. Let me find you a token for Susan. And I'll be nice and not just put Yagoki's profile picture on it.
We can just use a program to morph Yagoki's face into a horse.
I don't want to have that dream, and I don't want to have that image.
The Doctor Who reference.
Yeah, it's a Doctor Who reference.
And okay, so I can feed up to 12 technically. So other than my hero's feast once per day, I'll just have to find food and water specifically for the horse. So that should be taken care of.
Also, we could just take Yugoki's colors and put it on a horse base.
I'm just saying I'm not morphing Yagoki's profile picture into a horse face.
So
Right.
just a blonde horse with fiery red hair, which is actually strikingly, what do you call it? Appropriate for a paladin of the sun, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To suddenly summon.
100%.
I can
And
just imagine the Animorphs cover of like
Sun,
Goki turning into
so
a
it's
horse.
SUSUN instead of
Susan.
SUSAN.
TSU-SUN. Susan.
Vlad, see if you can move Susan. Because I don't know if you can move Susan or not.
Oh, I was like,
You
I
can
don't
move
even see Susan, but I saw Susan.
Susan was going for a swim. Anyway, Susan is pulling the wagon. So 2 days. As you guys are traveling, because I know you have tiny hut, so you don't really need to worry too much about the nighttime. But who's taking point for day travel?
I can take point.
Taking point in what sense?
Like who's watching out while you're traveling during the day? Like who is controlling the horse? Who is actually watching out? Like, because you know, there's somebody has to drive, and then somebody's gonna watch out for stuff. Like keep
It's Vlad's
watch.
horse.
I'm about to say Vlad should
drive.
probably drive. In which
Okay.
case, me and Suo
I'll
are
look.
like the two highest perception characters.
I will
by default.
I will
Five.
say everybody
Outside
but
of me.
Vlad. Everybody but Vlad can for the first day can make a perception.
Okay.
Not terrible.
Ooh, not mine. That was a nat 1.
Wow.
I looked at the sun.
Okay. I think we're just waiting on. Did Ham do
Suo?
a
I did mine.
Ham.
It's under my last one.
Oh, it just says the
Yeah,
same
18.
time. Okay. Everybody but Russell will notice that there's not really anything eventful, but you do see kind of stapled along the path, kind of attached to a lot of trees, is that same wanted poster. But other than that, a very uneventful travel. And then you guys will rest through the night with Liamin's tiny hut. And then
And I am putting up alarm again. Because that covers a larger area too.
So, if you want to, you're not going to need to make a check just because of all the bases that have been covered. But if you want to do another daytime check to see if you notice anything on the last leg of your journey.
Oh, wait. You like rolling dice.
Wow, that was almost a 16. I'm not seeing shit.
21.
Clicky clacky math bra.
I like my +9 to perception.
I have a +6. Comes in handy.
Just 5.
I was gonna say, but you've
Okay.
also got the alert feat, right?
Personally, it's observant.
Oh yeah, observant.
I
As
don't.
you guys kind of get to that halfway point, you notice that kind of coming towards you on the other end of the path is another carriage coming assumedly from Drywood.
Can I get a count of how many are with that carriage, or if it's like a merchant's carriage or
You can
Guard
give
carriage?
what'd you get for perception? 27. Oh, there's like 3 people sitting up front with a pretty old looking horse, and they're also seem to be just traveling with a carriage. It's covered, so it's kind of hard to see what's underneath it, but assumedly a carriage full of just stuff.
I'm gonna have Nugget climb on top of the metals and stuff in the wagon
Okay.
so that I can put the tarp over him, and it kind of just looks like it's a heaped wagon.
Gotcha. What is everybody else doing?
I am going to fall back a little bit and wild shape into I'm going to wild shape into a dog,
Okay.
but I'm just going to use the mastiff.
Gotcha.
I would rather look like a husky or something.
Okay.
Guess I'll just kind of look at him from a
And
distance to see if
And then I'll come
They're
like
like-
bounding
around barking
Okay.
And then Mace would be propped up, his back against the forward of the storage section. Really, most of him buried below everything.
Okay. Oh, what were you saying, Russell?
I was just gonna like scan them from a distance, see if they're like guards or something, see if they're dubious or looking for anything, looking for
Dubious?
trouble.
Dude,
Dubious.
we love a good doobie. Sorry, for some reason my webcam stopped working.
Also,
So-
can I do a perception check using hearing? Because I get advantage. No.
Yes, you can do a perception check doing hearing. Anybody who's trying to perceive stuff can do a perception. Sorry, my
Wow,
thing.
that's you, bitch.
You
Anyway, do I
Jesus.
hear anything
can see
that
everything
sounds
apparently.
nefarious?
So we'll start with what people see, because apparently people are seeing things.
All the things.
With a 25 and stuff. So you're also seeing the same thing that Ham saw. 3 people, wagon, there's a tarp over the back. Their heights are kind of like 2 taller people and 1 smaller person, almost as if they are a family. And
A
Suo,
family man.
you're hearing what you're hearing is the humming of a child, kind of humming a song, and
it's not creepy.
a dad kind of smoking on a pipe a little bit, and you hear a mom who is just kind of you hear like
I'm absolutely hamming it up as a dog.
you're clinking. You hear the clinking of like somebody
Knitting needles.
knitting, yeah. So it seems like a pretty standard family, and then obviously the click clacks
am-
of a horse.
I'm going to try and communicate like relaxed body. Oh, no, hold on. Time out.
You scream.
Before this, as soon as my ass gets out of horse wild shape,
Why are
I'm
you a
gonna be
horse?
like, Buns, what signal do I need to give you to be like, so you can message me? Because I should be able to respond to a message even when I'm in wild shape, right?
Because it's mental.
Yes. Yeah.
It's in your head.
So yeah, that's what I'm like. Should I do, like, I'm gonna be like, should I do like a triple whatever? Like a pattern of
triple
3? Like,
backflip
what do you want?
with a barrel turn? 360 no scope.
Just like dance your front close like 3 times.
So.
Then I'm going to do a triple
Message is not mental.
It is not?
No, you point your finger towards a creature within range and whisper a message.
That's the casting.
It's the casting.
Response.
No, it's and then the